Hello, and welcome to Waiting for Game, a podcast presented by Melee Stats. I'm your host, Gimme That Wait. We are going to have a great episode here today. One, Melee is still alive. I know that last time we talked, it was a dire situation. It was maybe not the happiest we've ever been about Melee, but we're still here. We just had two great events, and here to talk about them, we have two great guests before that. One of the strongest men I've ever met in Melee, Edwin Budding. How's it going, Edwin?
I'm doing great. This really feels like the most crazy month for Smash ever. A couple of weeks ago, we didn't know what the future of the scene looked like. We then had a truly one of a kind event happen last weekend, and I don't. And then we had the release of Ranked. I don't even know where to begin. I guess this is where I introduce the first of our two guests, Fiction. It's so wonderful to have you on the program. I know we've wanted to have you on for a while, and especially now after your performance last weekend at the Mogul Chessboxing Championship.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are you doing since?
How am I doing since? I was a little tired for the first couple days, kind of dazed. Didn't really matter in like what I did, but I definitely just felt wiped. Like I still managed to like win Verdugo, and that was really fun. And then yesterday I played ping pong for the first time again in like a month because every exercise I did was boxing for like the last month or month and a half. But I got tired really fast. And so I was like an hour, I was just like so done. So I'm definitely still recovering. Just been kind of sitting around. I watched the VOD of the whole event like 5-6 times probably. Just because like there's nothing, my brain has just been on like loop basically since the event of like trying to process things and go over it. So I think watching it through like kind of helps you like process the feelings from the event and stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah, no, it was a completely crazy event, and we're going to talk about it more. But before we do, let's introduce our second guest for today, FatGoku. How have you been since the event? You didn't participate or anything, but have you been?
I was tired as well. No, I've been good. Playing a lot of ranked. Going through
Top
a lot
5
of
at one
mental
point,
turmoil. Right? At the very, very start. But I don't know. I've been doing a lot of self pondering about like ranked and like why I play Melee and why I love Melee and like why I compete and stuff. So it's been an interesting week for me.
Yeah, you've had quite the journey. I mean, hey, maybe this is a reason to compete in Melee, is that if you get big enough, you can punch one of your friends in the face on a live stream. Yeah, so let's get into this. So the Ludwig Smash Boxing event was just this past weekend. I guess Ludwig Chessboxing is probably what it's actually called, because there were like 2 smashes. But yeah, this is a thing that I think a lot of people we're kind of lukewarm in the Melee community. Like, I didn't see talk about this before it happened, right? I saw a lot of talk about, I mean, obviously these events don't exist anymore, but all the talk I heard about December stuff was Smash World Tour and Panda Cup, and main stage a little bit too. But other than that, I did not hear people talk about the Ludwig event really at all. And yeah, this came around, and I was like, well, I've got nothing better to do. I might as well watch this. I'll tune in for Spud and Tuesday, and then I'll watch Fiction and KGH, and maybe I'll watch Toph and Hugs. I watched the entire thing start to finish. I was enthralled the entire time. This thing that I don't really care about. I don't watch boxing. I don't care about chess, and yet here I am the entire time. I'm like, wow, that was almost a checkmate. It was just such an insanely entertaining event. Shep, when you got reached out to about this, how did this come about? How did you get reached out to, and how did you know that this was something that you wanted to do?
So Ludwig just sent me a Twitter DM like 3.5-4 months ago or something like that. And he was like, hey, you into boxing at all? And I was just like, that's a weird question for Lud to ask. And I was like, no, but like, I could be. Like, what's up? Like, and so he was like, oh, how about I just give you a bunch of money and you train and then you box in like the Smash boxing thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. That sounds awesome. I didn't really care who I fought. It wasn't Kalindi at first. He had me at first. It was either because it was supposed to be, I believe, IBDW Jmook, and then IBDW dropped out, so it was gonna be me. Well, when I first joined, they're like, we either have you fighting IBDW or Jmook, and I was like, Jmook, you know, it's fine. I don't really know him that well. He's a nice guy, but I would love to punch Cody. Like, that's like, he's on my top 5 list. Well, top 5 list of people that I kind of like that I still want to punch. You know, not like the people I hate, but like, I definitely would have loved hitting Cody, but. He dropped out, and so it was Jmook, and I was like, okay, I'll just train really hard, fight Jmook. Like, there's nothing really personal in it, but I'll do it. I think it'll be fun. And then I had mentioned to Ludwig about Kalindi that like we had been wanting to fight. Maybe he'd be a good pick for like one of the other matches, you know, just because I knew he had done a little boxing before. But then when Jmook dropped out, I guess they reached out to Kalindi, and then that's how it went.
So this,
but I was
true
instantly
thing,
on board. Instantly.
Right? This was a true thing that you wanted to fight Kalindi before this event even. Was it before you got reached out to? You wanted to fight him?
Yeah, it was like last year. I think we've told each other last year that we were gonna beat each other up like at least 100 times. Like at least.
I was there for some of them.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where, you know, we just play a little bit of melee and he'd shine spike me. And I was just like, you know what you need, and it would get a lot worse than just we were gonna beat each other up. Actually, there are definitely many awful things said in fun, but the feelings behind it were real. Like, you know, you're about to win, and then last stock Falco just forward throws you and does double jump down air, and you side via do it. You're like, this guy needs to get hurt. Like, so I think that was we literally just talked for like a year about it. We went on vacation September of last year. Steven actually was one of the people who came along on the vacation to Colorado. But we were deciding, do we bring the CRT into the hotel? And we made a decision not to bring it. And then we all just had a wonderful weekend of like friendship and like nature because there was no CRT. But Kalindi had literally bought sock and boppers. Like, we were gonna like straight up just like fight, and obviously sock and boppers are not boxing gloves, but it was gonna get kind of messy, and we were really hoping nobody got hurt. So it worked out way better this way, like in a ring and everything. Like, because after we didn't end up fighting on the vacation, we kind of just gave up on it. Like, we were together, we didn't fight, so clearly we don't want to fight that badly. But then when this came up again, it was time.
Yeah, definitely a bigger scale than if you just kind of scuffled in Colorado.
Low key though, same thing.
Yeah,
like my experience,
like about 236,000 people different. But
here's what I'll say is I didn't experience any of that.
Yeah,
like I wasn't nervous at all. I didn't perceive the viewers at all. Like, I was just amped. Kalindi was right in front of me. It was time. Like.
Wow.
It's like 4,000 shine spikes in those punches.
Now, Steven, 2 of your good friends, you went on vacation with them. They're fighting in front of everyone. Who do you root for?
Oh, God. I don't remember who I was cheering for. Let me think about it. I need to like go back in time.
I already know the whole thing. He hasn't even told me. I already know his whole opinion. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to it. Go for it.
I don't know. I just wanted a good fight because I love both of you. You know, I consider both of you very good friends. And you know, we were saying earlier about people being lukewarm. That was super me. I didn't even watch like Spud versus Toussaint. I was like at the store, and then I was like, I guess I'll watch Kalindi Shep to like support my friends or whatever. And then it was actually like the most fun thing I've ever watched in my entire life. I think in Melee, I was definitely cheering for Kalindi. So I think in Melee boxing, Falco is broken and Fox sucks ass. At least in that matchup, I think that's 100-0. So I was like, "Come on, Kalindi, please do it. You're the underdog." In the actual boxing, though, I was just down. I just wanted like a good fight, and I think I got that.
Yeah, one of my highlights for the event. There was definitely some crazy chess boxing stuff that I didn't expect to like as much as I did. But in terms of overall event, yeah, one of the better ones. Edwin, what did you think? Because we talked a lot about like Smash World Tour and Panda Cup and main stage and everything of this when we talked. I don't think we ever brought up this as an event. Like, we didn't talk about it at all leading up to it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's absolutely nuts that like this was the scale of event that this was actually like, you know, if you compared this to other events in Smash history, this completely brought it on to a whole new level, right? You had 250,000 to like 300,000 people or whatever watching, and potentially a lot of them getting introduced to the Melee community for the first time. And they were getting introduced to like, you know, they're not getting introduced through something like, oh, the 5 gods or like the top 5 players, whatever. These are actual people like fighting each other that are not necessarily like the type of people that you might associate with like the super Reddity forefront of the scene or anything, right? And I just think it speaks volume to the kind of like creativity and like character of this event and the kind of things that are brought out of people in the scene. And I really think that like it's such a wonderful contrast to like a very almost like a stale idea of what people think Smash is or what people think like this whole sphere is, right? And to give Ludwig a lot of credit, I'm so like I'm very moved by, you know, the fact that this is someone that remembers his roots and is trying to include Smash and, you know, his pursuits moving forward. It almost feels kind of trite to keep saying this over and over again, but something about this event in particular, like it just like it stood out to me and really stuck with me in a way that something like the Ludwig Smash Invitational didn't stick with me, right? Like I don't play chess. I played for a little bit, like when the Queen's Gambit or whatever came out. But like I watched everything in that event. I had no idea of some of the stream personalities. Like I couldn't really tell you anything about them. Like, yeah, I watched the matches with Smashers and I watched the matches with like I watched all of them, but like I was really captivated by the whole thing. And I think there's a lot that people in content, just people in the community, let alone like the whole world could learn from an event like this. It was just really amazing. I was floored
from this.
How to throw a good event.
Okay.
And
it's just like
and why they should be into chess boxing.
Great.
Yeah, it's just like the cutting edge of content. That's all it is. Like he literally was just like, "Hey, look, this is like pushing esports and showmanship and influencers further into the future. Like this is just like where we're going. Like we're going towards better events because Ludwig has the creative mind to like push things forward. I think it's sick."
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it's been going for a little bit. I'm not super tuned into that world, but I feel like there is a really big thing of influencers hosting events, and then you have all of your other influencer friends around. That becomes a bigger thing. I know that they did a Beyblade thing. I think that might have been Cutie. I know there was a Squid Games. There's a Squid Game thing, right? But like this was so awesome. This was. I mean, we what can I say that someone else hasn't said? It was something that like we didn't go into expecting this to be interesting. It ended up being, you know, pretty enthralling. But more so than that, it's just like it's so funny now because we used to talk about Ninja. Do you remember Ninja would like he said that thing about Smash and everyone was like, Ninja might get into Smash. And I remember Reddit like went crazy. We have Ninja who's in Smash and like he just came from Smash. He's our Ninja. And he does more for us than like anyone else would, right? In this scenario. Like I remember just like when I was a little Reddit kid, I would hear like, oh, this person likes Smash. That's so cool. They're going to do so much. And yet Ludwig has like eclipsed anything that anyone else could give to us by exactly what Edwin said, by just remembering his roots. Like the fact that 200 sorry, I'm gonna repeat this number again, Shep. I hope you're okay with this. 236k I think was the peak for a Melee game to be watched, which is the highest I believe ever for a live event. I think Evo 2016, you know, people said was 232k. So it's really insane to see this. Yeah, Shep, sorry, what were you about to say?
No, I think Ludwig is really good at like doing like I just think he's just great at being like, yeah, I'm famous and we're all influencers and we're all here and we're all just making content. Also, there's Melee and there's not, you guys don't have a choice in it. And he just kind of like puts it there and is like, yeah, and there's Melee. And everyone's like, okay, Lud, okay. And then, you know, it's just great for the scene. Like, I think he's just doing it perfectly. He just got to keep doing what he's doing. Just keep ludding and we're all good. Like, it's actually just fire.
I think it's great. I think keep inviting Smashers. I want him to go further down the SSBM rank until it's like like Zamu and Hassan are just like on a camping trip or something. Like whatever the next big thing is.
Nah, just keep inviting me.
True.
Just pay me and I will be in content. I don't want to make content. Just let me be
How many followers did you gain from this?
Dude, I don't know, like a few hundred or something. It's not that big. But like people that I knew from high school and like people that I just like, I feel like every person that I have ever met or like ever learned my name has like watched the thing. Like there was like a guy who like I met at like the ping pong gym, and he was like, "Yo, was that you at the Mogul Chessboxing thing?" It's like I was at the hotel for the dinner on Saturday, and like a security guard was there, and he was like just checking out like the rooftop where I was at, like kind of hanging out, and he was like, "Oh, I saw you shadowboxing," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this like event." And he's like, "Oh, Mogul Chessboxing? I'll be rooting for you." And it's just like, dude, like everyone. Like, it's crazy. Like, my friends, like, relatives have randomly watched it. And it's like, what? Like, how? Did you tell them? Like, no, they just kind of heard about it. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's just crazy how many people have actually, like, heard of it or, like, watched it in some capacity. It's mind-blowing to me.
That's so crazy. That's so cool. I love when people outside of Smash tend to know about it. I've tried that thing on my relatives where I know my cousin who's younger than me. I was like, "Do you know Ludwig? I've been to his house." No,
I always get people with that now.
Well, my cousin didn't know who Ludwig was, so it doesn't matter. I just think it's so exactly what you're saying. I think it's so great that he keeps including melee because there's no need to, right? If you want to throw this, it's probably smarter to not include melee. You don't have to bring CRTs in. You don't have to you are. I mean, I loved it. I know Smash loved it, but you could probably get bigger personalities pretty easily. Just throw a couple more on, and yet no, he's so willing to do this. And maybe we stop talking about it soon because I get a little I don't like giving Ludwig so many compliments in a row. And we'll be talking about Scuffed World Tour later. Like maybe we split it up a little bit. But no, it was an amazing event. Steven, who are you going to box?
Dude, I want to fight Shep. Shep's like the person.
No, you don't.
Dude, get me in there, Shep.
If you want to, dude, like go be my. You definitely don't want to. I know you. You don't want it.
But Shep can't fight twice, so I want to fight Aura. Oh my god, I want to fight Aura so bad. I hate him. Like I hate him in the way that Shep hates Kalindi. Like, I hate him with every fiber of my being.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
But also, like, he's one of my best friends. But also, I want to punch him. Like, I think Peach would be so broken in chess boxing, though. But, like, I'm also just so much of a better player and so much more handsome that I think it'd be fun.
Hey, we gotta hit him up. I'd be down to watch.
I don't think he would fight me. I think I'm more of like.
I feel like you want to fight him because you feel like you'd beat him up.
No, I want. No, I don't know. I still want to fight that many people. Like, if Edwin came up to me next major and was like, "Hey, Steven, want to fight?" I'd be like, "What? I don't want to punch you."
That's what I'm saying. Why do you want to fight me?
Thank you.
Because I don't. Have you ever talked to me?
Hey, I thought we were the ones to defeat the million lions together. The billion lions.
Okay, well, we can put aside our differences.
We're in tag
kill the billion lions. But I also want to fight you.
Anybody beside Derek you'd want to fight, and me.
Other than you and Derek, maybe like
not Edwin.
Somebody that he can realistically fight.
I'd have to go up or he has to go down.
Oh no, I'm on my way down.
Edwin Budding gained a miracle 175 pounds for fighting us. He's just like super fat, like amazing.
I don't know. I'd maybe fight Logos, but I think he'd kill me.
Logos.
That's the only issue.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
Like,
it'd be good for content.
If I had a 1% chance to beat Logos in a fight, I'd be down. But it's so much lower than that.
But you want to fight him for like his personality?
Yeah, I want to fight him like like an ideal battle or like an idealistic battle. Like
I see.
We're like the Goku and Vegeta of something.
Of something. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Of Western non-top 50 melee
of like, wow, not top 50 of like best player in their region, Western spacey players or something.
All right, Edwin, what about yourself? Who are you gonna fight?
Who's around the same like type as me? I had to think about it. The first person I thought of was Jackzilla.
Was who?
Yeah, the first thing I thought of was Jackzilla, but I'm really
Jackzilla.
just going by the four-side fight and like melee stats analog. With Wheat taking on Mikey,
Yes,
taking on Ambi, and me engaging with slap fighting with Jack.
Yeah, our Marvel vs. Capcom 2 battle.
How about how about SF?
SF's pretty tall. I do think. See, the thing is that Edwin wants to win. There can't be a chance of losing. I used to ask this question in high school. I used to ask people for some reason to like break the ice or whatever. I would say if all of our high school were in an underground fight club and you got to pick who you want to go against, who do you pick? And I would say, like, keep in mind, you want to win, obviously, but you don't want to like destroy them because everyone's watching. You want the respect of people around you. So maybe try to keep it close. And I realized that years later, I'm just asking the same exact thing, just in a different high school, basically. Edwin, maybe, yeah, I don't know. We'll do an open call. Wisely's kind of your height, right?
Sure.
Oh, you know,
I don't know.
Hugo's
I don't have like an existing dynamic with Wisely. It's got to be someone. SF's not bad, but he's a little tall, but he's kind of skinny. I think I can take him.
That's what I'm saying. And he doesn't seem like a killer. Like, I feel like it'd be a good match, like, spirit wise.
Yeah, I think you would start like punching the shit out of him. He would just keep laughing.
I definitely feel like he would get punched and laugh though. It'd be scary. You hit him and he just starts like hysterically laughing, like it's a psychopath.
Like SpongeBob in that one episode where the guy beats him up and he just ignores it.
Yeah,
that's definitely me and SF, just like on the regular. That's our relationship.
Yeah, it is. I saw it in the hotel room. He got in and out with SoCal, and you were pissed. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We still want
there's a lot of sick matchups.
Ringler and Greg Turbo. We're still looking to have a second.
No, that's like a good one. That's like a good matchup. I feel like they're like around the same height. Like,
yeah, I say let's make it happen. We saw it at Smash Camp, and you can view that set on the Melee Stats archive on YouTube. We saw it at Smash Camp. They were obviously not in a perfect mind state, and not on. I think that was like Steven. That wasn't sand, right? That was dirt. I'm having trouble remembering.
I feel like it was sand. It might have been. I think it was. My guess.
This is not a perfect situation. We got to get them in the ring. We
definitely need Hacks Leffen. That's just like
I don't know if we do.
Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, okay, maybe the world doesn't need Hacks Leffen. I just personally need it.
Okay.
I need to see that. Be sick.
I'll let you try to figure that one out. Then you can reach out.
They would definitely... How tall is B-Bats? I could fight him.
B-Bats?
Yeah.
How much does B-Bats weigh?
I don't know. Well, I'm down to lose weight. The weight I don't care about.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just thinking like, who do I want to punch? And who's down to punch me?
You get down to like 145. Like, you're just shredded.
Yeah, we could figure it out. B-Bats. Well, B-Bats is if you look on Twitter, B-Bats is straight now, so he might be a hard.
I don't know why.
Well, that's why I want to fight him. I
love the whole straight B-Bats thing. I don't know why. I just like it. Like, every time I see it on Twitter, I just think it's super funny. Like, one of my favorite things happening right now.
It's finally time we had some straight representation at the top of the game.
He's so brave.
With the sunglasses.
I mean, hey, speaking of straight bats, he's been making his way up the. I've been seeing his name on the Slippy ladder. I don't know if we want to jump into that or if there's anything more that we want to talk about Ludwig's Mogul boxing.
We can talk about whatever. I haven't played ranked yet at all, though.
I saw that you haven't played ranked.
I don't even know how to do it.
Is this because of? Well, first you got to give Fizzy money. Is this because of Smashboxing? Are you taking it easy, or is
kind of? I mean, like, okay, so I'll be honest. I played like very little Melee like the last like 3 months, and so like I would have like little like 2 days where I'm like, oh, I'm playing again, and then I'm like, nah. Like I was really focused on boxing. When I had time off, I would just be programming, and like I just haven't been like super like into the game. Like I like the game like mentally, but I haven't been enjoying like really playing or grinding much. And I know I need to grind before the Scuffed World Tour. So I've just been like, I'll grind soon, like I promise, and I haven't done anything yet. Like I haven't, like my controller is like still in the case and stuff.
Well, we've got someone who's been on ranked a little bit. Steven, I've seen you in the trenches. How is it?
Dude, it's been a roller coaster. So I heard about it like as soon as it came out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I need to stream this. And I streamed it for like 3 hours, and it was unbelievably fun. Stream went well, the games went well, I was like top 5 or whatever. And then later that night, huh?
I said whatever, top 5, no big deal.
Yeah, no big, top 5 in the world is fine, Everyone knows that I am skill wise. And then like I played later that night, and I don't know why, but I was just so mentally boomed, and I lost like 10 sets in a row. And I'm not gonna name any names, but most of those people I don't believe I should be losing to regularly. And so just like my mental was shot, and I was like, I hate Melee, even though I've been feeling so positively about Melee recently. And then like the next day I wake up and I like lose some more sets, and I get even more down in the trenches. And I just had to like mentally reset myself and just think about it completely differently. And then after like I thought about it and like thought about, why do I compete? Why do I love Melee? Like, why am I playing this game? What do I want to do with my life? Once I like kind of thought about all that, I started having fun again. So it's been an intense 3 days of getting number bigger is all I'll say.
Hasn't even been a full 3 days yet. You got a lot going on, man. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, like this coming, especially after Mogul Chessboxing, is so big. Edwin, will we be seeing we saw the Slippy kids already? Will we be seeing the Chessboxing kids? Is this a new entry for people who want to get into Melee?
I mean, honestly, I think that's got like a non-zero chance of being pretty big, right? It's too soon to tell, but I legitimately think that like I think even if like what if the peak was $300,000 or dollars, if the peak was $300,000, if the peak was 300,000 people watching,
this guy's got
even
money
like
on the brain.
5% of that watching. Even 5% of that watching is like 15,000 people into the scene or whatever, right? Like,
and the next day, ranked comes out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just great for the scene.
I definitely feel like there are people who will start because of it. I think probably not like super directly immediately into it because of it. Like I think it put it on people's radar, and it kind of got them in like the very entrance of like the whirlpool of like Smash, and then you just slowly circle closer, to like getting into competitive Smash. I think that's kind of what it was. I think it was more of like a broad outreach, less so than like, oh, somebody went and saw that event and then showed up, and now they're like, oh, rank's out, I'm gonna play ranked. Like I don't think that happened. Like I think it's more of like a long-term play that'll get more people into the game, and just sort of like more people in the world will be like, oh yeah, people are playing competitive Melee like still, like I just think that it really got it out there to like the more normie crowd.
Yeah, it's like people talk about on YouTube, there's an alt-right pipeline. There's the Melee pipeline as well.
Oh my god!
You suddenly,
dude, those videos are so addicting. Like how I got trapped in the right wing pipeline, and they're like, "Well, first I was watching this."
You're on the alt-right pipeline.
Oh yeah, no, I not like right now, but I've definitely seen like a bunch of those videos.
Yeah.
They're all so good. They're like, one day, I was just hating women, and the next day, before I knew it, I was almost hating everybody. And it's like, yeah, man, like sorry, like I'm glad you got out of it, I guess. Like,
but I think that same stuff maybe it applies to people where they're like, oh, chess boxing, and then suddenly they're
no, that's
looking up
definitely the point
odds.
of it. Like the YouTube algorithm will get us through because the first is Ludwig Chessboxing, and then suddenly the Ludwig Invitational, and then you're looking up who AMSA is, and then we got you. Like,
yeah. Once you look up who AMSA is, yeah, we
it's
got
over.
you.
It's over. You're like,
They're going to be looking
awesome.
up your
like,
video on laser heights at some point.
And then you stumble into watching the doc drunk at 3 a.m. or something, and then the next day you're at your first local.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, the combination of these two things, it's tough to say until we see it in a few years, but it should be pretty big.
Okay, wait. Oh, really quick. Big announcement. Blur just responded. He weighs 210 right now, but he says losing weight pretty fast, though. So...
Okay, so we didn't say this on the podcast, why this matters. You just made an announcement about Blur's weight. Do you want to give any context to this?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about fighting people. Yeah.
We did. Okay, but I'm just saying.
I know we mentioned it beforehand, but yeah. Nah, so anybody who's around 200 pounds and wants to fight the Blur, maybe we can get something going.
I'm not way more than.
No, I think you could probably get there.
I could definitely
you versus
get there.
Blur would be a sick fight.
I would super fight Blur.
Okay, let me ask you. I'm not gonna respond for now. We can finish the podcast. I'm just gonna ask you.
I do like the idea of just having an announcement every episode when we talk about a different thing about Blur, or like here's Blur's weight this week. I do like
this
that.
Just in, Blur eating chicken for dinner.
Well, we all can't have pork chops for dinner.
That was fire. Anyway, sorry for derailing. I just got hype. I was like, wait, that's like a fightable range for Steven. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Get me in there.
That's sad. I thought Blur was closer to my range. I wanted to fight him. Okay, we'll work something out.
He's like 210. Can you get down to like 200, 210-ish?
I've been to... You're
also, I think you might be too tall for him.
I'm taller than he is.
Steven's around the same height.
I'm sure. I'm like 5'8". Okay. I think Blur's probably 1 or 2 inches taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out. Edwin, talk to me about how important ranked is right now, because I am seeing a lot of stuff going on. I've watched more Twitch streams in the past few days than I think I have in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I think it's incredible for the player base, obviously, just having a way of playing semi-meaningful sets against the competition, seeing where you stand. Obviously, it's not going to replace the top 100 or double elimination brackets or anything. But I think in general, it's just been a really positive thing for the community, and I think more than anything we'll see the return of stuff like the reads and maybe the content ecosystem around it. Obviously, that's kind of my perspective on this as someone involved in the scene. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of more cool ladder climb content. I personally have been enjoying a ton of IBDW's new unhinged rank streams where he is just super toxic but plays it up. It's great. It really fits into his new free agent unhinged brand. I kind of love it.
Does he play it up though?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
He's playing it down.
I've seen some of those streams. They're very good. I saw him today, and he was just like, "Why do you back air there?" And he was just like, "Why would you ever? Don't back air there. No. What were you thinking? Why would you back air there?" And while he's just destroying Panos.
Yeah, I really like one of my favorites is. Oh, so we're not going to play mix-ups now? Okay.
Cody?
Wait, that's a good one.
God, yes, yeah, Shep, you do say that. By the way, we're the top 100 is on its way. It's going to be coming out. I don't know, a few weeks, I guess. Are we going to get another? The fans have been asking. Are we going to get another top 100 fiction overview? Your recap that one time was very legendary.
No, the one time I did it was amazing. I don't know. We'll see. I have to be in like that was impromptu. I can't plan stuff like that. If I plan it, I'll not want to do it. I just woke up one day and I was like, I bet everybody thinks this whole list is just full of geniuses, huh? And I'm like, the people need to know. And then that was how it just kind of went downhill from there, and it was sick. But
I mean, you were proved right. The only thing that exists of this stream are a couple clips here and there, but I distinctly remember you saying that HBox. This was when HBox was winning every single event. Basically, you said he's actually top 5 skill level, and Mango's actually better than HBox. Then look at us right now.
I mean, it's not surprising to me.
True. Speaking of which, two holdouts that we haven't seen from ranked, HBox and Mango. I know HBox has been winning the fucking content man of the year. But other than that,
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. Like, yeah, that's like a whole different thing. Like,
that's I could not believe. I was so shocked. I was like, is there no one better? No one's made better content. Like, I'm fine if he wins it, but
and like the whole sphere too. It does seem like something that like a smasher might vote on that for a smash board, right? But for all of like esports or whatever, it is kind of out of left field.
Yeah, I feel like we get destroyed every single year by like League and stuff like that. There, like when Armada was like winning every single tournament in Melee. It was like, yeah, actually, he's not going to win the, whatever of the year and the esports awards. But now suddenly it's HBox for content.
To be fair,
regardless,
he's a way better content creator than like Armada. Like, that's just.
Armada
was never going to win that. Like, nor would I. Like,
I meant Armada as a player, right? There's like an esports player award, right?
I see. I don't watch awards of any type, so I don't know.
True, you got your belt. You already got your award.
I don't pay. I just think awards are whack. Like, who'd you beat? And they're like, oh, people just like voted me the best because they like me. It's like, There's a great Feynman quote on it, which you'd have to look up the video on it, but it's really good. He just hates awards, and I super subscribe to that mentality.
That's is it an award-winning video?
Okay, so Blur says he has 10 plus years of martial arts experience.
I don't care.
Oh, he says he doesn't care. Let's go.
I got that dog in me. Dude, I watched
like 4 dogs. You got like 4.
I watched some of Hajime no Ippo this year, and ever since then, I was like, I just want to fight for sport. Like,
oh, let's go.
I don't really want to hurt someone, but like, I don't know. I'm a competitor, and I feel like fighting is the most pure competition. And like,
I feel you.
So I just want to fight someone.
Now
I'll fight Edwin. I don't care.
It was really oddly conflicting. I wasn't expecting to have any conflicts when I was fighting Kalindi, because normally if I'm in like a competition, I feel very much like, just like, I will win, like, you will die, you will suffer, like, ha ha ha. Like, that's how I feel in Melee. Like, if my opponent is feeling bad, I'm feeling good. But I definitely felt it in the boxing that like, I would hit him and I would be like really happy that like I was like that he was taking damage, but I was really surprised that there was like a part of me deep down that was like not happy about it. I was very surprised to find that there was a part of me that's like, oh man, like I would never want to actually like have an actual fight with Kalindi like out of like hatred, or like out of like an actual fight. Like I wouldn't want to have that with like my friend. I just had that realization during that. Like I want to fight him, but like for fun, like respectfully. Like I just realized that like it's very different when you go into like survival mode and it's like me or him, and it wasn't quite the exact experience that I expected.
Dude, you're like changing my perspective of Goku like as a character.
Like, what do you mean?
Because I always just like watched that and just pretended it was like Melee or something. And he's like, yeah, I just love fighting. Like, I just want to be the strongest I can be. And I'm like, yeah. But like, if it actually requires hurting someone.
No, like, because you're actually, like, you see they're open and you're going to hit them. And there's part of you that's like, yeah, maybe I'll just hit them with this and their eyes will roll back and they just won't get up and then I'll win. And like, you're hitting them and then you're like, man, like, I love this guy. Like, like that's crazy. Like, but like, it was very like small internal feelings that like came up after the event where I realized that there's like that fighting is not just a game. Like we're really playing with our actual lives. And for me, it's different. Like, I don't mind doing that, but like feeling that it's like my friend there that I'm doing it with it's different than I expected. Very interesting learning experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you going to continue fighting at all, do you think? Where's your journey taking you?
I'm going to continue training. I'm not gonna continue training as hard because I've been literally like obsessed. Like it gets bad. Like when I get really into something, especially if like I feel threatened, like I felt the boxing match coming up and I really didn't want to lose, like it gets a little obsessive where like that's kind of the only thing I can think about. Like I won't even like not even like, oh, like I'm just constantly productive with boxing. It's like someone will DM me and like because I'm thinking about boxing, I like don't have mental energy to like respond to like the DM. It's just really weird. Like it was just very like intense and stressful. And I think that I really want to like keep training afterward and keep getting better at the sport, but not with it as like I don't want to train under the threat, of like an incoming fight. I think it'll be really sick to like be like, okay, I got a few months of really good accelerated boxing training because of like nobody does that. Nobody starts training for 3 months for boxing and your first fight is coming up and you have to grind or you're going to get knocked out. Like that's just insane. So I feel like after that, I feel like good first 3 months experience. I'm going to grind, like continue just like the slow grind, getting better. I'm going to keep getting more fit and stuff like that. My goal is that like in like a year that they're like, hey, like we're going to do this again. Like you want to fight? And I'll be like, yeah. And they'll be like, you've been practicing? And I'll be like, not really. But I've been grinding the entire year. And then I just obliterate anyone that I fight. That's the goal. Like I did this once. Like the chances of somebody thinking it'd be sick to call me up to do it again have only increased, And so like I want to be ready. And I've always enjoyed martial arts. I took some like jiu-jitsu stuff in like high school, Japanese jiu-jitsu, not Brazilian, but and it was like some martial arts stuff and I always wanted to get back into it. But I think like boxing is just so good for fitness and all that stuff. And like there's a chance I could have to do it again. So I'm going to keep up with it. I'm going to keep trying to get better. I'm actually, after I fully heal in a week or two, I'm going to get a lesson or two with my coach. And we're just going to like go over the fight and make a list of like in the coming months, what can I adjust? What did I learn? What's the best ways forward? So like, I'm not trying to ever lose a fight, like ever.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
You're doing VOD review.
Well, I did that with my spars too. I would spar and then I actually sent a couple VODs to Hugo and Stanza's coach. I sent him 2 different VODs that he reviewed and gave me some pretty solid advice in addition to all the other training I was doing. So, but yeah, that's my plan moving forward. Going to keep up with it. I want to keep getting stronger.
That's sick. Yeah, I mean, I think it was. I've followed you on Twitter. I followed you for a while. I know how dedicated you can be when it comes to whatever. So I was not surprised. But yeah, I think it was super cool, and it's super cool as like a thing for people to see who might not know you as well, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. And I also
this
think
little Falco guy and suddenly rips off his shirt, beats.
And I also think it's sick to like, I don't know, like prove yourself right. Like I felt like that, like I haven't been in like a real intense fight boxing match type thing before, but I definitely felt in my head that like, nah, like I have the heart of a warrior. Like I'm gonna keep going. Like I'm gonna fight literally as if I'm fighting to the death. And you can tell yourself that as many times as you want. And a lot of people will tell themselves that, and then they'll drop out of the boxing or stuff like that. Like you start realizing you don't really have it. And so I think it was nice to get in there and just be the person that I know I am. Like I know that like if I get punched, that's not gonna stop. Like unless I literally go down, like it's not stopping me. And I knew that, and it was sick going in and just realizing that that's just like the truth, and not just like a fantasy I made for myself. I think that really is a great experience to have.
For sure.
I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Yeah, I don't even like. God, it's so funny how inspired the entire timeline was. I saw so many people going like, oh, can my local throw something like this? I want to beat up this Falco main too.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely been thinking about setting up some Verdugo boxing. There's a few people who are a little interested, so you never know. Could get something started. I think it'd be really cool. Open offer. Kavan's trying to fight somebody.
Yeah, maybe I'll take him up on that next time I'm in SoCal.
Yo, anyone in Oregon? Hit me up.
Yeah, like, because that's the thing is you got to start setting up matches early because it's not like, yeah, let's just do it this weekend, Like, I am honestly so amazed by people like Hugo and Toussaint who did this with, like, a month of training. Like, that's absurd. Like especially Hugo, like in terms of like the proper type of boxing that he developed in like a month for what he had was just crazy impressive. Like a month in, I was like a joke. Like a month in, I probably would have lost against everyone there. Just from like, I was confused and there was a lot. Boxing is really complicated and hard. So the fact that people can pick it up in a month shows that they started way ahead of me. I started pretty far down the totem pole. So I think 3 months at least is a good start. And I would have loved to have 6 months or something. So setting up the matches early is important.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wait, okay. Do you really think people are going to start doing this at like locals and stuff? Is this going to be a thing?
Probably not, because most smashers are kind of just like talking big and they're just not really for it. Like,
yeah, which is good, right?
Nah. This is just a great opportunity to find out who talks big and won't back it up, which is a lot of people. But it's a great opportunity because you go, there was I don't want to say who it is, but basically my one of my training partners, Taborn, like Nick, he's like a SoCal player, and I trained with him like a lot. And we were talking to another guy in the SoCal scene, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I would love to spar. Like anytime you want. Like, I'm super down." And Nick is like, "I have my stuff. Like right now. Like, let's do it. Like, put on your gloves. Like right now." And the guy's like, "Actually, I just don't want to spar at all." and so it's like that's like I feel like a lot of smashers, and like so I feel like it will, and even among the top players, like even with Lud giving 20K to people. Or whatever he gave, I don't know what he gave to everybody else, but so it's like even with Lud giving a ton of money, how many top players dropped out? How many people like got scared or changed their mind at the last second and stuff like that, you know? So I feel like it is going to be hard to set up matches, but I think the more matches you get potentially out there, you have time for people to drop and give up and change their mind and new people to hear about it and join in. So we got to get started now. Like if we're trying to get like actual sick matches in the next like year, we kind of got to work on it now. Not in like a year.
True. Are you going to fight H-Box?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like 50 pounds heavier than me. I mean, I would... Okay, the other thing is, so this is the thing I was mentioning at the tournament. I will never, ever, ever smash box someone who plays Jigglypuff. It's not going to happen. Like, as much as like I'd be down to like spar with Toussaint or H-Box or whatever, like I am not going to actually play that format with a Jigglypuff player because I think it like seriously is outside of like the rule set. Like I don't think the Jigglypuff is like valid within like the rules. The stalling potential is too crazy when the stalling potential and with wraps, I think that Puff is far too advantaged, like in like a time sensitive sport. If we were doing something like they changed it and they were like, we do 2-minute melee games and then the winner at the end who is the one who took the most stocks, maybe I'd be down for that. But I really hate the idea that you can win someone and they can like stall for like, they can plank you for 8 minutes or something like that. Until the format would be adjusted for Puff, I will never smash box a Jigglypuff player ever. That's just a thing. I'm not going to do it.
You're okay with Falco Fox, huh?
I don't think that... So I think that Falco Fox is somewhat easier for Falco in some ways, but I think that like there are a lot of positions where it's not... Like I think your style of Fox would do great in it, and I think Kalindi's style of Fox doesn't do as well because he relies too much on precision. I don't think it's really Fox as the character that struggles with it. And he was just so winded and stuff that it made it look like way worse. Like the first game was fine. He could have easily won that game. I didn't feel particularly advantaged until he like literally was like having trouble, like, you know, doing anything. And then obviously it was in my favor. I do think like if you had me pick a character, I would say Falco. Like Falco doesn't get Falco gets less worse than Fox does. Like Fox has a bigger nerf from Smashboxing, but I don't think Fox is like way worse than Falco at all. I think Puff is really broken though.
I guess we'll just have to wait for the meta to develop. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we'll see some more. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I know what is going to happen, and it's this coming weekend. It's Scuffed World Tour, back-to-back Ludwig events on back-to-back weekends. Pretty insane. But yeah, we've got another thing coming right here. Edwin, do you want to talk to us a little bit about what Scuffed World Tour is for anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, so Scuffed World Tour is basically a put together tournament by Ludwig that I believe the rest of his team found out about when he announced it online.
That is
So
how that's how a lot of Ludwig projects go. I've heard though.
yeah, but basically it's meant to be sort of a stand-in for where well, not on the same weekend, but it's meant to be a stand-in for Smash World Tour. So it's going to have a lot of the same people that you might have seen throughout the year at Smash World Tour events. So we're talking like Mango, Amsa, IBW, HBox. Obviously, our special guest Fiction is going to be there. But I'm also in particular excited to see a lot of the international talent that's going to be there. So people like Professor Pro, Joshman are going to be there. We got Riken coming in from Chile. And I believe Ingen is set to go also. I was seeing talks of him like going to the event as well as one of the invitees. I know Zane can't make it because of a family emergency. Mm-hmm. But in general, you got kind of a small but really interesting group of players. It's going to be tough for some of the ones at the bottom and like the more obscure ones to stand out. But I think it'll be a really formative opportunity for them, and it'll put them on kind of on a scale of stage that maybe they don't get a chance to have necessarily all the time. So I'm really interested to see how this event will shape out.
Yeah, I mean the thing about we've got these events that are kind of taking place of Panda Cup and Smash World Tour, right? We've got Scuffed World Tour, we've got Redemption Rumble coming at the end of the year, like literally the last day of the year.
I'm going to that too.
Oh, okay, I'll see you there probably.
Sick.
But yeah, it's Edwin, you're right. It's really cool because it's it's like an international thing, right? They've actually, I don't think the player list is out. I think Edwin, I think Aiden tweeted it and then deleted, but we all kind of know. I mean, yeah, Ingen was on there, Riken was on there. I think that's really cool. Like the idea of it, as they said when it was announced, was to show some international representation. I think Professor Pro is going to be there. And I think that's really sick because that's one of the things about Smash World Tour that we all kind of took for granted, right? It was always like really fun to check the leaderboards, at least for me, and be like, oh, like what South American is going? And then when it was taken away, it's like, oh yeah, these people don't really have opportunities to get to America very frequently. Like a lot of these people weren't going to go to a major in America if it weren't for Smash World Tour. So I think it's really sick to see Ludwig do that. Dude, even if it's going to be, I know they have to run like a shorter event. I think it's going to be a 1 day for both games, but even then, I think it's going to be super cool. Steven, how afraid are you of Riken or Ingen? Give me both of them.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know who Ingen is.
Okay, I've never. Wait, you don't know the Japanese Marth player?
Okay, that's okay. That's what I thought.
He's Prodigy Marth player, I believe. Right? White Marth.
Yeah, I think he plays White.
I like White Marth. I think White Marth's underrated. Okay, so that's. I'm sorry to Ingen, but yeah, I don't know. I've never seen him play. I heard a lot of people were getting hyped about him. Because he did really good in some tournament, and people were talking about how he's only been playing. It was a really absurdly short amount of time.
Yeah, so basically, what you need to know about Ingen is that he's kind of like he is literally like a Slippy kid. Like he got into the game through playing Slippy from Japan. He's like super young, and the long story short is he's basically the best active player in the country right now within like a year and a half of playing, or like 2 years, I guess at this point.
That's actually insane.
And long story, a little bit longer, he had a couple heartbreakers at Smash World Tour last year where he got a pool that was like 4 Spaceys and him. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know it. He almost beat Magi. I'm surprised you don't know that set.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you didn't hear anything about it. Even I heard about it.
I've heard a little bit about him.
You were there.
I've never watched one of his sets. So
yeah, I was there, but that means I wasn't watching.
True, you're right.
No, Smash World Tour last year, like the finals, is like top 3 of my favorite events of like all time. Like it's literally like one of my favorite tournaments like ever. It was just like the environment last year was great because it was in Florida in like the winter, and I went kayaking twice. I saw a bunch of manatees. There's manatees in Florida in the winter. That's crazy, right? They go there to like because it's warmer. But anyway, and then like the best part was just all my international friends were there. That was really it. Like bunch of really, really sick Central and South America smashers and stuff like that who are just like the super homies, and I want those guys to get as many opportunities as possible. So like Smash World Tour last year was so sick. Like just get like 15 guys who aren't even from like America, and we all go out to like Wendy's or whatever, Denny's, whatever was there. It was so sick. Like so it's unfortunate that it can't fully happen again this year. But I was talking to Riken a bit about it before they like announced that he was going to be going. And he was just like, dude, I just really want to go. And I was just like, yeah, like you kind of deserve to go. Like you're already here. Like you did all this stuff. So it was really sick that he got in. And I'm glad that Ingen is getting like a chance also.
Yeah.
I did think it was really funny. Like at main stage, they announced only like the top 8 were coming. And like I just kept walking around main stage, see Professor Pro, like, oh, like because it's like, yeah, you know, the only top 8 players in the world. Mango, Hungrybox, and it's like Fiction and Professor Pro, and we're like, yeah, it's just us, you know, we're all just like the four same skill level guys, you know. Like, it was great, like. But I'm glad a few more players are getting invited now.
I think it's going to be super sick. You know, obviously, Edwin mentioned that we had to have Zane drop out. So it might not be like a fight for number 1, like maybe it would have been before. But I think it's going to be so sick. I can't wait to see. Yeah, I mean, we talk about Ingen. I think Riken's also really good. Riken's obviously got a KGH win from, I think, Wave Dash or something like that. I think there's so much international talent that we have yet to see. And you're right. Smash World Tour is going to end up being like the only North American major for a lot of people at the end of their career. Like a lot of good players are probably only going to have been to America for that reason. So it really does, you know, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why Smash World Tour shutting down is horrible for the community, but I think that's one that's kind of understated. So I love to see Ludwig coming in and trying to make stuff a little possible. But yeah, we've got, it's going to be a weird event because we've got like really good heavy hitters here. And then we've got a few people who are, you know, gonna have to work a little hard to get some of these wins, I guess. You know, if Smash World Tour has these people, it's usually like in a larger scale, and they're able to like get like a cool winner there. I think like the next player after it's like Ingen, Riken, and then you go like one step above and it's like Professor Pro, and then one step above that I think it's just Josh Man. Like I think that's how hard it gets. Like,
no, it gets hard really fast. But honestly, like I don't know, this tournament is more of just like a celebration of Melee and Smash. It's more of just like, yeah, like Ludwig's sick, Scuffed World Tour, like we're all going. Like I don't think like it has the same vibe as Smash World Tour is going to in terms of like the significance to the rankings. But I think we're all just going to go and play and have a really good time. Like I'm not really taking it seriously to that extent. Like I think it'll be sick though.
Yeah, I think that's probably how a lot of people are going to be thinking about it. Yeah, Edwin, how about this? Tell me about how serious do you think Scuffed World Tour is going to be?
I think the people going will still like try. It's one of the few times before they're. Well, I mean, depending on the New Year's Eve event, I don't know how people are going to take that, but you know, it's still events. It's pretty dry overall. I feel like the next month or so, I have to think people will be in super grind mode, especially with the release of like ranked Genesis coming up and everything. I think people will try, and you know, like if who knows, right? If Mango destroys everyone at this event, he doesn't just beat like the 9th time or whatever. You know, maybe no, that's obviously no small feat. I love coding and everything, but you never know, right? I think this will be a fun event to watch for a lot of reasons.
How about this as a question? Because we used to ask this every single week, and for whatever reason, we stopped asking this. Can HBox be number 1?
See, if you asked me, the answer would be no matter how many times he won. But that's why I'm not on like any sort of committees. He's like, I won every major tournament. Like, God, have you seen this guy? He's Mango. He's the GOAT, bro. Like,
God, yeah. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the year, and hey, I mean. We've been bi-weekly for a few weeks, and then I know Christmas is coming up. This might be the last episode we have of 2020. Oh fuck, I miscalled 2021. This might be the last episode of 2022, so it's a good time to call back. the well that we went to for 90% of our episodes, which was talk for 10 to 15 minutes about if HBox was the best in the world. No, I don't think he will be. I don't think could do anything here to convince me that he's the best in the world. Unless he if he proves during this event that everything that Zane and Mango and Amsa and Cody have been doing has been based on cheating. I think
if he checks the disc and it's real,
he would have to get up on stage and be like, they've been cheating for the past year and I have receipts for it all.
The ISO was only wrong at the tournaments. HBox lost. Oh no. Increased tipper percentage.
He's just has he's if you check frame 378 of Zane's game 1 win at Pound, you will see that this clearly should not have happened. I think that's what he would need to do. He would need to go through every single thing.
I do think, though, that missing rests because of Z-axis and frame perfect stuff and phantoms and stuff like that, it definitely will drive you crazy. If you're putting your entire ego and life on the line, and then you're just the final rest that I read 100 years in advance, and then it's right on their body and it misses, you just have nowhere to direct that except towards something's up. Somebody needs to be punished. So I don't know. I understand why he gets so freaked out about it, because if I was the one doing those rests, I think I'd be freaking out too. I'm not gonna lie.
It was
if my rests were missing like that, I'd be like, what is going on? I'd be freaking out. That's why I don't play Puff. One of many reasons.
I want everyone to go back and watch that set between HBox and Leffen at LSI, because I swear if you watch the first couple games, he's so afraid to rest. He's like, it doesn't work. They put me on a bad ISO. I can't do it. Steven, what do you think about Scuffed World Tour? Do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm gonna be a little bit of the slightest Debbie Downer, because I'm just the slightest, and this isn't directed at Ludwig or anything, and I hope no one hears
no,
this
it should
and
be.
thinks that
We've spent a lot of time buttering him up.
Yeah, Ludwig, you're not So please don't interpret this as me saying that Ludwig isn't doing enough. But as a top 50-ish player, I feel for my fellow people in that range.
You can just say top 15, dude. You don't have to lie. It's cool. I know what you think. Every time you say it, you're a top 50-ish player. It's it's cool to say 15. Just say 15. It's cool. We're all friends here.
You're tied for 51st currently.
True. What an honor.
Although,
anyway, top 20 player. As a top 20 player, what is your opinion, Steven?
As a top 20 player, no, my opinion is I feel really, really bad for the people who qualified and don't have as many, maybe they don't have as many opportunities to compete as the super tippity top players, because maybe their sponsors aren't as good or they don't have sponsors at all. I feel bad for the B-Batses and Spark, Avery. I'm I don't know, I'm sad that they don't get a tournament at the end of the year. And I know for someone like B-Bats or Spark, qualifying.
Oh, I did see those tweets.
Yeah, Spark had to reverse 3-0 someone at Apex to get one more point or something to qualify, and B-Bats traveled to Europe to qualify.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying Ludwig has to invite everyone, because what he's doing is already way more than is what is expected of him, which is nothing. So I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but there is part of me that's damn, I feel bad for Zayd.
I mean,
and stuff.
That's the thing, is everybody got bodied.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And Lud is he has a lifeboat, and he's
yeah,
all right, you get on the boat, and I'm man, I'm on the boat too. Let's go. Everything is fine and dandy, and you're some people aren't on the boat. I'm that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I don't expect anything.
It's we were all gonna drown before. So Lud got a lifeboat with a few people. He's just trying to salvage anything he can. The real damage has been done. There's no way to recoup the damage.
No, absolutely.
It's kind of like the dinner after the funeral. Sometimes it's kind of fire. but like doesn't fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was like, that analogy definitely works. And I said it, and I was like, I'm on a podcast. I'm not just hanging out with Steven right now.
No, you're good. I'm laughing. I just went to a funeral luncheon this past week, and some guy I was messaging Edwin about this. Some guy was telling me about, he's like, Eli Manning's better than Peyton Manning. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he also says, he's like, yeah, they won't let me on Facebook because I'm too political. All you do is you question one election, and so you kick off. So that's
political.
That's apparently what happens at post funeral dinners where I'm at, I guess.
What was he doing on January 6th?
That's my question.
Dude, I love that meme.
We should have figured it out. Does he know Elite GSP? You got, maybe that's too you guys. There's the ultimate guy. Some ultimate guy ran an account about like the Elite GSP, and apparently he sent a picture of himself. He tweeted it out. He's like on the bus to DC, and it was like January 5th that he did that. But I guess we don't need to harp on this. What were we saying? Yes, Steven, you're right. There's a lot of people affected by this, and the thing is that it goes so deep is because a lot of people only went to specific tournaments to go to Smash World Tour, right? It's not even just like, oh, this person can't go to Smash World Tour now. It's that, no, this person traveled here, and here because they wanted Smash World Tour points, right? Like, Wizzy went to Mexico so he could get a Panda Cup spot and get some points for Smash World Tour. And while he obviously was not having, the best health year of his life, and he did that for nothing, right? He doesn't get to go to either. So yeah, it's just like a shitty situation overall. I agree on that, and I would love if there's something in the future that is able to kind of showcase the talent more. I don't know if that's something that can even happen, but yeah, for right now, it's cool to see some people. I think that's what we have to take away from this, is that, like, even if Riken and Ingen go 0-2, it's like cool that they're there and get to play friendlies. I know
they definitely prefer to go.
True.
Be there. Like, they definitely want that.
I know Chape is going to go as just someone hanging out and playing friendlies, which is great. But yeah, I mean, like, people literally were like canceling their trips, and I know like Frenzy and Prof flew back to England even though they had like flights booked for the end of Panda Cup, basically. It's just like, it's a shitty situation overall. I'm happy that we have this here. But yeah, let's talk about this, I guess, as what it means as, like, instead of what it means as an event, what it is as an event, which is kind of what we were talking about. It's like a last ditch effort for any people to move up in the rankings. It's like the, maybe not, especially without Zane, maybe it's not the perfect end of the year thing, but I think it's still something that could change people's minds. So who do we think is going to end up taking home the medal? We've got Mango here. We've got Cody. Shep, you can say yourself. I think you should say yourself. I think it'd be weird if you didn't.
Nah, because the truth is, I've been just boxing. Like,
True,
I haven't been playing Manning for 3 months. I am going to that tournament as like a victory lap. Like, I'm just going to chill out, have a good time. I really feel privileged to have gone. Like, I'll do my best, but I'm not showing up to win. Like, if you look at the hours from like the last 3 months, it's not pretty. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I think Mango's probably the best right now, but I stopped caring about like ranking stuff like entirely. So the only time I care about rankings is it's really fun to be mad when they rank me. But other than that, I don't actually like pay any attention. Like, I think I'm gonna be like 14 or something this year, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I get to just like, it's like a holiday. Like, I get to come up with some joke about like how I'm gonna like hunt down the panelists. Like, it's like, what's that? Like the hardest hunt or something. That one short stories. It'll be sick.
Yeah.
Chet, my favorite thing that I've ever seen you do is like when you put top 10 skill in your bio.
Oh, I mean,
when you're ranked like 12 or whatever.
That's still there, and I deserved 10th that time, and I'm still top 10 skill. The thing is, nobody really disputes it that much. Some people randomly dispute it, but like if you're really good at the game, there's not that much to dispute there. Like, that's just how it is. Like,
Edwin, what do you think?
Because the thing is statistics people, they're ranking performance, not skill. And I never said I was top. I never said I was top
True.
10 in performance. I said I'm top 10 in skill. And I picked up a second character and took him to top 10, like ish. So like nobody can say anything. That's just it. That's in my bio forever until it's top 5 skill.
All I'll say is that look at the seeding that you got at the only 2020 events of the year. That's top 10 seeding.
I was seeded like 7th.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like I was definitely seeded in top 10 at the beginning of 2020. And I was getting close here until the boxing thing came up. Like if you look at my year until the boxing was announced, getting pretty good. Double down. Getting kind of up there. Then I had to fight for 3 months, so it's a little different.
Are we still keeping top 10 in skill?
What do you mean?
Is that staying in the bio?
I mean that hasn't changed, right? Like,
okay.
like at all. Like I'm confused.
Edwin, you've been quiet about this.
Yeah, I think that. I think that the whole.
And he remains quiet.
Yeah, top 10 skill. If you ask me.
I think his camera froze or something. Wait, is he talking? Hello?
All right now.
Oh, like he's totally frozen for me.
Oh, he's moving for me.
Like,
Edwin, assert yourself.
I can see him in the bottom right. He's like frozen.
How do you want me to assert myself? It's you rank people based off of how they perform in the year. It's like a report card. It's not meant to be a subjective assessment and like overall skill, right? It's like we go to tournaments, we evaluate results because it's good for a content ecosystem, and people like knowing where their performances stand, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now tell Shep, is he top 10 in skill?
I mean, his opinion on that.
Sure. I had Shep 10 on my ballot.
His opinion on that is kind of irrelevant.
So yeah, why not? Sure. Let's put him in there.
I feel like this is such a good concept idea of remaking the top 50 or whatever, but just your opinion on their skill. Because I'm putting like Plup on 1 at mine. Going like Plup, Mango, Zane. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. After the, I know it was just like an exhibition, but the 25-2 thing is so goddamn funny. Oh my god,
dude! I was so happy when that happened because I've always thought Plup was the best player. But if you look at his results, clearly his results are not close to 1.
I can't.
But now I can point at that.
Mango, you're actually insane.
Maybe he might be 2.
You're literally insane.
Plup's top 3 easy.
I think it's definitely Mango Zane tier, then HBox, then Cody Plup. Like Cody Plup Amsa. I think Amsa is probably it's probably closer to Mango Zane in tier 1, and then Amsa HBox in tier 2, and then Cody Plup in tier 3. That's my opinion, but that's just based on like overall skill and not on performance.
Ooh.
I mean, hey, there's an opening here, right? You know, PG is not around anymore. You could come out with skill rank.
And the thing is, I think everybody's just really obsessed with the rankings and stuff, and like the skill. I think at top 5 level, it's really, really important. Like those guys, like when you get top 5, I think it becomes extremely important what you're ranked. The difference between being ranked number 2 in the world and number 4 in the world is massive. And I think most other people probably shouldn't care that much. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Everyone's like, oh, I'm ranked like 63. It's like, oh, you mean you lost every time you had like a relevant?
Dude, I really should have been 49.
Like, I just don't see the appeal of it. Like, I think Leffen HBox. Oh, I forgot about Leffen. I think Leffen's in. Leffen is, but.
Leffen's also in my top.
Leffen's in like the HBox Amsa tier, but he's probably in some ways better than Zane. But I still think Mango's definitely the best player.
Maybe. Is he winning this event? Is he winning Scuffed World Tour, do you think?
It shifts all the time, to be honest. That's the thing with the top 5 in skill. It's just different all the time.
True. What about, okay, here, going into Scuffed World Tour, you call Mango the best player, right?
Yeah, I mean, Zane's not there. Mango's definitely the best player there.
So do you think he's going to win this one?
Dude, I don't know. He's the best player there. Who knows? Performance is like rolling the dice. Like,
make a guess. Make an educated guess.
yeah, he has a higher probability of winning the event than people worse than him. There's
Mango
no way
is 100% winning.
Yeah,
Scuffed World Tour.
like why would you even say that?
I will
Sorry.
bet my life on it right now.
I was in such a good mood, and then somebody was like, "Edmund, do you think Shep's really top 10 in skill?" And now I'm in like gun mode. Like I'm just like, who wants it? Like who wants it? Like who's you're all bad. Like like I have that. You set me up.
I'm sorry. How do I set you back on?
No, you're good. I'm chilling.
You want to talk about the pork chops again?
No, those were fire though. I might get another one after the call. They're like thin and crispy on the outside. Oh.
Are they
just the right amount of fat? Oh.
Did you have to? Oh my god, we keep going back to boxing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you? I'm sure you had to keep away from a lot of stuff while dieting, right?
No.
Or were you bulking?
No, I was dieting, or I should say I was losing weight. I didn't have a particularly strict diet. I just make sure I get my protein for the day, and I make sure I don't eat too little carbs, because that's the issue. Is I usually just get the protein out of the way, but I start to feel like the little like the drainage from like not drainage, but like you feel like there's like a certain feeling when you need protein and a certain feeling when you need carbs. And I just would pay a lot of attention to that, and kind of just like when I could feel I needed carbs, I eat a little carbs. When I could tell I need protein, I would eat my protein like on a schedule, and then just like fill in the carbs however I wanted. I did not eat like the only thing that I wouldn't let myself eat was like no ice cream, because like stuff like that is just like you're just gonna like like you're about to go to bed, 500 more calories, and it's like nah. So I tried to be on like roughly like 300 calorie deficit, probably 200. And I was mostly just like reaching that by making sure I ate at about eating at about what my normal maintenance would be, making sure I wasn't eating too much, and then adding in like an extra hour or so of cardio every time I worked out, or most days. So I was able to drop the weight really, really easily. I went from 183 to 165 in like a couple months, like without almost any effort. So yeah.
Was there anything that you like, any food or anything that you found yourself gravitating towards after the fight stopped?
Well, I mean, after I knew I was gonna make weight, and I had some ice cream like a couple nights before the event.
Nice.
But it's just like the stuff that's like gratuitous for no reason, like cheesecake and like ice cream and like the things that are just like crazy fatty and stuff like that. Those fill up your calories so fast if you're trying to lose weight. But you know that if you're like, I can just feel it. I'm like, oh, I'm like negative 300 calories today or something. And it's really easy when you know you need to like lose the weight to just not fill up the 300 with ice cream. Like just go to bed, you know? Ice cream or like whatever. It's just any sort of like super duper junk food I avoided. But I also like, I don't know, like my family would have like a birthday cake or something. I'll eat a piece of cake. It's just a small cake, and I won't have seconds. And you know, I won't like eat the leftover cake that's in the fridge the next day or stuff like that. Like I just made like small adjustments. I heard people saying like, oh, it's been like months since I had like things I like. Like it's been 3 months since I had like a beer or something sweet or something like that. And I think that is taking it too seriously. Weight loss can be traumatic for your weight loss and dieting can be kind of traumatic for your nervous system. I think you got to like take it slow. You don't want to like try to go too ham. And there was a point where I got down to like 170 and I started feeling not as good because like I had gone down like close to 15 pounds in like a short period. And so I just like hovered around 170 for like another 3 weeks. And then I went down to 165. So I think it's good to take it chill. Josh Man was seeing a dietitian, and he was on like stupid deficit. He was on like 1,500 calories a day or like less, and doing boxing. And so he was losing crazy weight. But he told me he thinks that that's what made him so brittle, and he got his arm broken was because he was cutting too hard. And I think it's something that people need to realize. You can't just starve yourself to lose weight. Like I know he was seeing a dietitian, but I still think that's too extreme. I think you got to like chill out with it a little bit.
Edwin, now that we made fiction happy, who's winning Scuffed World Tour? We've distracted him.
Let's go with Amsa. Why not?
I'll pick Amsa too. Why not? It sounds like a fun pick, right? You just say Amsa.
I like when Amsa wins.
I didn't expect that we were going to get 2 this year, right?
That we were gonna get what?
That's crazy.
Two of them.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really expect one, but I definitely didn't expect two.
You just did it again.
Once you get one, everything changes. That's how everything in Melee is. It's all about getting your foot in the door on the level above you, like literally, and then you just like normalize to that level. You start seeing yourself at that level, acclimate to that level. Every top player will agree with that, I think. So Amsa getting his foot in the door that I can win a super major, that really opens the door to him being able to potentially win any sort of super major. Same thing happened with Cody when he finally won like Summit and stuff like that. That's just how it works. It's just like it's just the truth.
Even on like a lower level, I remember the first time when I was number 2 in Oregon, the first time I ever beat like the best player. After that one time I beat him, it was just like over.
Yep, no, it happens at all levels, definitely. It's just the slow, like you have to just get your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 mangoes, 2 Amsas. Yeah,
I would like if Amsa won.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. But I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter, right? Like we've had majors where we talk about it in more depth. I don't think anyone's viewing Scuffed World Tour as like Genesis or Big House or anything, right? We're kind of just
not in the same combo. I just pulled up Glenny's stream for 1 second. He just did the craziest combo I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's very cute that even after punching him in the face, you're still watching his stream.
Hey, we were hanging out after the fight. Like I went back to my suite, and he was in the suite next to me, and we were just hanging out with Toussaint and watching the matches and stuff like that. Like me and Kalindi were really, really cool. Like a fight is not gonna. If anything, the fight brought us closer.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the pics of Toph and Hugs afterwards. Yeah, I think that's really cool to see that on it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's a bonding thing. Maybe if there's anyone in the scene you want to get close to, just ask them if they want to box.
I feel like if they're already your friend, it'll definitely, because you're like training with them. Like you're suffering, like they're suffering. You're training really hard, and then you give it your all, and that's like an experience you had together, even if like the result is one way or the other. So I don't think it would have changed how we like our friendship either way.
Hey, we're talking about boxing. Let's move on to Patron questions, because we actually have stuff that are pretty related to that. So I'm going to start first. We've got first off, I want to say, I know I talked about this before the show started. We do this little thing where we say, oh, the questions were really bad this week. You guys actually made bad questions. You gave us a lot of questions. They were bad. It was like, we talked about before the show. Like, it was a lot about like fiction fighting, but it was like somehow like bad questions about it. It was like, yeah, how did it feel to know that you could get injured? It's like,
I mean, I'm down to answer any questions.
We've got questions here. We've got some picked out. The first one's from Cliche. Rank number what, Edwin?
25.
SoCal.
26.
I think it's 26.
I think it's 6. It was 6.
I think it's 26. But
wow.
No, it was 26.
Top 25 in skill, though. Of course. Cliche asks, now that the boxing match is over, will you accept Zach Ferris' challenge to a game of skate?
Yeah. No, I wanted to skateboard a bunch before the match, but I feel like I owed it to myself and Lud and Kalindi and like the whole event to not do things that could injure myself.
How do you want to talk to the audience about how much you've been skating? Because I don't think people know about the.
I mean, I don't really skate anymore. I skated for maybe an hour at a Verdugo.
There's like YouTube tutorial videos you made on like
Olive, right? But I used to for like about a year and a half. I skated obsessively. Like all my skating tricks and videos you've seen are all from a year and a half of skating. I literally just did it every waking moment for like a year and a half, and then I realized after the year and a half that all my friends who I had started with had quit, and I kind of didn't enjoy it anymore. And I got into Brawl right after that. Oh, no. Like literally, like I was kind of getting tired of skating, looking for something new, and then Brawl came out. But I still like it, and I think I was having like, some ankle issues during quarantine, so I was like a little worried about my ankles. But after all this training, my ankles feel nice and strong and stuff, so I wouldn't mind skating at all. Hanging out with people at Verdugo and stuff like that. I would need to get some shoes for it again. I used to have my old shoes used to be all taped up, like everywhere, just from skateboarding. Like you rub them against the grip tape when you do tricks, and it just destroys the shoes.
Maybe we'll see if Lud will do skate boxing or something.
I would, if he does like skate trick boxing, I would literally like obliterate pretty much anyone. Like I was nasty at game skate, and if I actually trained again, it'd be unfair.
All right, Zach.
Like if I trained, I doubt there's a person in Smash that could like consistently beat me at skate if I trained for like 3 months or something. On flatland skate, I'm talking about. No,
let's see it happen.
Tricks.
TOs out there, if you want to make stream content around fiction skating, hit him up.
Yeah, I'll do it. Especially if you have a ton of money, like Ludwig.
Pay for his flight. And he'll do however many ollies you need. Edwin, you've got a question as well, right?
Yep, this one is from SSB Seal. Fiction, how does being front of the crowd for boxing compare to that of a Melee tournament?
The exact same.
Really?
It's the exact same. I've got to be honest, the crowd didn't bother me at all. It felt completely unusual. This is my job. So, like, this is what I do every week. I go in front of people. I go in front of crowds. The crowd, if anything, I just feed off of it. It didn't feel weird at all. It felt exactly like Melee. Like, you get hit and you hear, like, the crowd during the Melee match, you know, where you start hitting your combo and you hear, like, oh, and you extend the combo and you hear the yelling more. It's the same thing in boxing. Like, it's exactly the same. So, for me, it's just, if anything, I think having no crowd would be a lot harder for me. I think having the crowd makes it a lot easier.
Interesting. And FatGoku, we didn't announce you, so we had no one ask you any questions. Is there any question that you'd like to come up with and answer yourself?
That's a good question.
You can give yourself a softball, or you can give yourself a really
if you had to lead one country on Earth, you had to. Which country?
Like I'm like the president?
Or equivalent.
Okay. Ooh.
And you can choose a dictatorship country if you want to be a dictator, and then you choose a democracy if you want to be like more of a president.
So I'm either thinking like I choose the US so that, because like I don't know, like most of the people I love live in the US. And I think I would be a sick president. Or like the other one is like I could just choose like Russia, because like they got some shit going down. I don't really agree with Putin. And like I think I could do a better job personally. Dude, fuck it, I'll go with Russia.
Okay. Russia, you're crazy.
I think they'd accept me there.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you're their leader. I hope they do.
Exactly.
I mean, it is kind of a sick answer just because I didn't expect it. It turned out to be a crazy question.
So are you
Russia?
Are you doing this to like turn around all the stuff that's happening?
Wait,
or is it just like, what's your reasoning? Walk me through this.
Wait, turn around what stuff?
Are you doing it because of the war, or just because you're like, I really want to, I just love Russia?
Yeah, I disagree with the war. If I was the leader of Russia, there would not be a war in Ukraine.
Okay.
Wow. And there's probably other, like, I don't know, everything going on down there. But
what if you went down in history books as like the guy who caused the downfall of Russia? like Russia just ends up as like New Finland or something. Like all their worst nightmares come true. Russia's dead.
Dude, I go there to
How would you react? What would, like, you write a book about your life? Like, what's your perspective? Would you say like I tried my best? Would you say like they deserved it? Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know the context of what happened. Like maybe I feel like I did a really good job, but everyone else around me fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean
that is classic like leader syndrome. So
I become the leader of Russia to stop like the Ukraine war, and then I end up causing World War III because of other ineptitudes I have.
Dude, imagine your smiling face in every history book as like it says World War III, and it just has the first picture is you like
it's me and you on the cliff.
Yeah, like at a freaking on the cliff with me like like I'm on the run.
Known associate of dictator Kalapi. How do you pronounce your last name?
Callipy.
Would you rather be 7'5" or 6'5"? Height-wise.
6'5", easy.
7'5"
7'5" is just ooh, yeah, no, 7'5" is like too tall.
But I mean, you could just intimidate people with your very presence.
But like,
you could still intimidate people at 6'5",
7'5", you can intimidate the 6'5"ers though.
True, I could intimidate like Shaq.
Yeah, how many of them are? I don't know.
Well, it depends on how many other people are given this proposal.
Nah, just
right?
him. It's just him.
I think
it's just him.
I think when you're that tall, it's like actually really, really unhealthy, and you like. I guess maybe I'm thinking more like 8'5". But even 7'5",
how about 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall?
Okay, ooh.
Take 7.
Can I choose to be born? Like, do I get to relive my life, or do I just grow?
You grow right now.
Okay, probably 6 feet. If I could choose to start at 7 feet, though,
you would
I'd
go
be
with
an
that.
NBA
Why
player.
Why is that?
Because I at 7 feet, like if I wanted to be an NBA player, if I grew up as a tall person, not now.
Okay, wait. One more perfect question. Okay, would you rather have like comically large feet or comically small feet?
Oh, I think comically large. Because
I'd go with comically large.
Yeah,
I feel like it's got to be good. It's got to be good.
Yeah,
for swimming,
I don't.
Right?
I feel like it would mess up my balance.
You guys ever seen that episode of The Proud Family?
No.
You guys ever watch that?
Oh my god, what a throwback.
That's a callback. I
have
can't
seen
say.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It came out more than 10 years ago. Oh no! Like it's basically just the dinosaurs. Like nobody watched Proud Family. Fine.
I watched it when it came out. Okay,
Yeah.
explain to me this episode. They had really.
There
big
was an
feet in
episode
this
where La
episode.
Cienega was, she was embarrassed about her feet, and she had giant feet, but they made her a goated swimmer. That could be Steven.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
weird.
my god.
I don't think they make
true.
that episode anymore. I think the world is.
No, that
changed.
episode was
someone's gonna
sick.
cancel
No, that
it.
episode was
Yeah.
actually amazing. No, it was great. She had to
Thank you
learn
for
to
the
be
question,
proud of her
Shep.
flipper feet.
Yeah, Shep, you had good questions. Something that maybe our patrons
Better than the
didn't.
Patreons.
True.
I just know what type of questions Steven needs to be asked. Like, would you hunt an elk or a buffalo? Like, given the choice, if you had to live in a region where like one of them was your primary food source.
Dude, I think buffalo. That just sounds more like manly. Sounds more prideful.
Okay. Okay. Let's say you have to.
It sounds like
manly's-
disappointed.
Okay,
in my
well, let's
answer.
say you hunt
Being
the
manly is
buffalo.
important to you,
You
Stephen.
hunt the buffalo with a rifle, but you hunt the elk with a bow and arrow. Is it?
Then the elk, easy.
The
Oh
elk.
my God,
Okay.
that's so much
That's
cooler.
that's the Steven I know. That's the Steven. You know about that thing where sometimes like the elk, like they eat. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Never mind. It basically just the elk. They eat some stuff, and then their pee is like psychedelic.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
it seems
was like, wait a minute. I should probably not go off on that direction. It'd be a sick podcast, though.
Who cares?
yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next episode.
Next episode of Waiting for Game.
Like
We'll all drink
we're just
the,
like
the
stalking
pee.
an elk for like 6 hours. You're watching it drink water. You're like, it's happening. All right, sorry. Continue the podcast.
Well, I was about to say we're already a little off topic anyway, so we might as well do the last segment of the night, which is of course known to fans as Touching Grass, but officially unnamed. This is the segment where we talk about stuff that goes on in our lives that is not Melee related, because a lot of the time people only talk about Melee, and we're a lot more than that. So we've been talking a lot about elk pee and well, a lot about boxing. So I'm not sure how much more there is that's not Smash related, but let's see. Let's see what we've been up to recently. So I will go first, and I will. I'm probably going to pick a boring answer. I think we usually come on here and we talk about what TV shows we've just watched, and I did watch. I watched Ted Lasso because I saw it on the plane. And I watched White Lotus so I could talk to my sister about it. But really, if I'm being honest, the thing that has been most prominent in my life recently has been the Australian children's show Bluey. At main stage, my good friends and I, we
We ate a cookie given to us by a trusted member of the community, and we all felt a little silly afterwards. And we were flipping through the TV channels, and Bluey came on. We watched probably 2 hours of it, just transfixed. And I know a lot of people were very annoyed by the talk of the people who weren't in the room at the time were very annoyed by all the talk in the Discord the next day about Bluey. And that next week, I went to my cousin's daughter's first birthday party, and it was Bluey themed. So Bluey has been a very pervasive subject.
Yo, let's go! I have my Bluey shirt on and everything. And they're like, oh wow,
I love that guy. Well, it's a girl, but I love her.
There's like a Bluey like dress up. You're like, is that Bluey? You like tackle the guy.
Bluey has been a very pervasive subject in my life the past week, and I've been seeing a lot of Bluey fans. I will say. They reveal themselves in Melee. They don't talk about it, but then you bring it up. And they're like, "I love Bluey too." I'm so glad we can talk about this. Edwin, you were in that hotel room. I know.
Yeah, I was.
We're entertained by
I had
Bluey.
a blast watching Bluey. I think it was really fun. I remember a lot of it. I remember all the people who were there. I was having a great time. It was kind of hard to focus on like the specific plot of the show, but I remember the colors particularly well, the music. And the vibes were just generally incredible. It was like a journey. I think that's what I would say about it. It was interesting to watch. There's a lot going on.
Okay, good review. What have you been up to recently, Edwin?
I've been I'm gonna do the really lame thing and bring up another podcast that I've been listening to for my non-melee topic. I've been listening to Blowback Pod. I've put it off for a bit. I've been recommended it so many times, but the latest season is all about the Korean War, and wow, it's a lot. Shocker to the audience of the show, and most likely the adjacent
Edwin Budding
audience.
comes out as against the Korean War.
No, I mean it's just like
wait,
man,
no.
America kind of sucks sometimes. Yeah, one of the people that it like reviews is General Douglas MacArthur, who is like a World War II like he was a World War II like commander or whatever. He was like pretty revered, but like he was just like obsessed with the Korean War and wanted to like escalate it into a final like nuclear showdown with China or whatever. And it's just like this guy was like an unhinged lunatic. Oh my! At one point, like he was like reportedly thinking about like, or he was trying to convince other people that like dropping 30 atomic bombs on was like the play during the war, and that's just
I feel like that's what Steven would be doing.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah,
you talked about running Russia. Is this your plan?
30,
okay, just 30 at once.
Yeah, 30, not like 1, 2, not like 5, 30. Like, oh my god.
They say dream big.
Yeah, it's an insane listen. I'm gonna probably listen to the first 2 seasons once I'm done with the last episode. But yeah, it's been a journey to listen to.
Great, and we can, for sure say, are you pro or against the Korean War?
I don't know if there's like a pro or against, but I'm against all the things that they describe.
Okay.
You're saying we should bring the troops home from Korea.
We need to end it right now.
Yeah.
I sense that you're a little hesitant to say that you're against the Korean War.
I just don't know like what I don't know how to interpret. I'm kind of like still. I'm kind of still.
No, see, this is the difference
that I'm learning. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to be like an imperial oppressor in other countries.
No, this is the difference between like education and not like, because if you're like if you don't know anything and you just kind of heard about stuff, I'm just like, yeah, of course I'm against it. But then he's been like watching documentaries and stuff, and he's just like, I don't know, man. There are complex socio-political and historical factors affecting both sides. Like, yeah, like that's what happens when you start learning stuff.
Well, how about you, Shep? I know you've been very busy these past couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of work coding my game. I got the multiplayer done. Yeah. I got the online level server stuff done. I've got like quick play. I've got direct connect. I've got all kinds of stuff finally working, integrated with Steam and stuff like that. So Closed beta
Nice.
coming out within the next couple weeks for sure. I keep like saying it's going to be out, and then I keep being like, well, might as well just add this feature because when I put it out, people are going to ask for this feature anyway. And now I kind of been through that, and so I'm like, all right, it's going to get a closed beta out on Steam pretty soon. People hopefully fix a ton of bugs for me, or like find them at least. Not fix them, I'll fix them, but they'll find them, and then yeah, hopefully I can get like an early access release with like everybody can hop on and play each other in multiplayer and stuff as soon as possible. So that's my real grind. Even during the boxing stuff, I was still doing like 6-hour days a lot of times or more, even on like my busiest days with coding. So I've kept up with it quite a bit, and really excited. That's still been like my main life project. Like everybody's like, oh, you've been busy with Smash and boxing. It's like, dude, like the whole time it's just been game dev. Like it's been game dev since most people I know in Smash have even like known me. So it's like I'm really excited to get that out and get that moving.
Well, drop the name. I know it's gone through a couple. I know
yeah, the current name, and I'm pretty sure it's finalized, but it's called Kinetic Break All Limits. So Kinetic is the main title, and Break All Limits is the secondary title. We have a good we have a sick logo and everything for it already. So, and I think it fits the game. I'm happy with it. It's not violating any copyright. Like name copyright for games and stuff is actually really gross and bad. So it's just the society we live in. But name doesn't really matter to me. I know that the quality of the game will speak for itself, and the people will just get used to the name being whatever it is. So I'm glad I found a pretty good name, and I think that's where we're settling with it.
All right, Kinetic Break All Limits. People can check it out, I guess, whenever it comes out. Steven, what have you been up to?
Recently, outside of like Melee and gaming and stuff, I've just been trying to like be a bit more of a healthy person.
Let's go, Steven.
Been trying to go on like about a 1-hour walk every day,
Nice.
which oh my god, it just helps so much. Like one, it's just healthy like physically, but also mentally.
Dude, Kalindi calls those mental health walks. Like
yeah,
the everyday like chill walk is so real.
Dude, it is. If anyone in chat, I don't know, anyone listening, just like go on a walk if you can, if you like have access to that. Been trying to eat a little bit better. Been trying to eat less like funny cookies that make Bluey more enjoyable. Trying to cook a lot more, eat less fast food. That's kind of the main thing going on in my life, other than, you know, been grinding Melee a bit too, like League of Legends, but League of Legends goes against the other thing of being mentally healthy, so I don't want to talk about League of Legends right now. But
yeah, like League of Legends and Melee ranked mode, it's all about the mental health this month. Just focusing on my well-being, self-care.
Well, that sounds like you're having fun, and I want to say, Bluey's good. Funny cookies or not, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to have a funny cookie to enjoy the wonderful gem that they have over there in Australia.
See, I use the funny gummy bears, not the funny cookies.
But, I'll take whatever funny thing you've got.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you're not buying it, then yeah.
True. Yeah, beggars can't be choosers. Well, how about both of you? Where can people find you if they want to follow you on Twitter or Twitch or anything like that? Fiction
IRL on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't find me, I'll find you. You don't need to follow me. You'll see all my tweets against your will. It's okay. Just accept it. Yeah.
What about you, Steven?
You can find me on Twitter at FatGoku64, all one word, no underspaces or any underscores or anything. Twitch just /FatGoku. I streamed the first day Ranked came out. I think I'll start streaming a little bit more. So if you want to watch my stream, that'd be dope.
That's sick.
He's a very good streamer.
What's the status on Twitter /FatGoku? Who's holding that one?
Oh my god, it's some guy who hasn't tweeted in like 8 years, and he has 10 followers, and like I think his profile says he's from China, but
Elon might be freeing those up.
Dude, Elon, if you're listening, hit me up. Give me the FatGoku at.
And we do think that Elon is listening.
Can you imagine that?
I tried to make it. I tried to make a freaking Instagram profile and like fiction IRL taken, fiction _IRL taken, and they're all just like 2 follower accounts who posted one picture of a tree in like 2015.
That's
like,
a classic.
And they're just like, yeah, I got it forever. It's like, no way. It's just not fair. Who takes fiction IRL? Who?
Who takes FatGoku?
True.
How many FatGokus are there in the world?
It'd be sick if you could just like go to their house.
Dude, I should box them for it.
Yeah. No, it'd be just sick. Like you just show up outside their front door. Hi. So, did you make a Twitter account 8 years ago with the name FatGoku? They're like, who wants to know? Like,
FatGoku does.
yeah, FatGoku wants to know.
Who do you think you are? I am.
The real FatGoku sends his regards.
Elon, make it happen. let's set up the boxing match.
I have the word Elon muted on Twitter.
Yes,
it's great.
You absolutely have to make Twitter.
I've had it muted for like a while. Since
I
before
did
he
that
on
with
Twitter.
Kanye West.
Just because people are just like, what should I tweet about today? Elon Musk bought Twitter, didn't he? Like, Elon Musk bought Twitter, and he's not doing a good job. And it's like, yeah, those are your thoughts, huh? That's all you got. Like, I don't know, it bothers me. So I just muted it.
I don't think I've muted any words, so I've just been getting them all in. And here, if you wanna get Melee Stats tweets, don't mute any words, because I feel like we're probably tweeting out every word. You can follow Melee Stats on Twitter, Melee Stats Pod. We're gonna have our daily results reporting over there. Gonna have links to our articles on meleestats.co, such as Monday Morning Marth and When's Melee. You can watch these videos live, twitch.tv/MeleeStats or Melee Stats on YouTube. You can find our long form content there, and our episodes of the show, and some sets that we've recorded and stuff like that, some extras. Those are going to be on the Melee Stats archive on YouTube, and meleestats.co/shop if you want to wear any of our merch. And if you love everything we do and you just want to support us, patreon.com/MeleeStats. Thank you two so much for being on. It's been a very fun show. I know that this was, we were supposed to have you a couple weeks ago, and then the world, the sky fell and the world went all upside down. But I appreciate you guys making time for this.
Yeah, of course. Glad I could be on. And it was cool to do it before the boxing, and it's even cooler to do it after. So
I agree. I'm glad that, I'm not glad that what happened to make us kick you guys, but I'm very happy to be able to talk to you about it afterwards, because I think it ended up being a very fun episode. Glad to hear all of your stuff. And yeah, thanks for being on. And Edwin, what do you think? Is this the last episode of 2022?
Let's see where we are in like 2 weeks. You never know.
Okay, how about that? Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in maybe 2 weeks or in 2023. I'll see you then. Peace.
See you guys.